Prankster sends Glasgow runners on a lengthy detour. It seems that someone, uh, when they found, when they were walking through the park on a date or something, I don't know the details. When they were walking through the park, took the signs showing the path of the actual, the path that the run was supposed to go on, and then moved them around and sent the runners on a detour. Maybe they were drunk and thought it was funny and they were trying to impress a girl. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, runners at a 10k trail race in Glasgow were sent in the wrong direction by a prankster who impersonated a marshal and buried signs marking the course. Acorn Trail said someone moved a route arrow and impersonated a race organiser to send about 30 competitors on a 2.5 kilometre detour on Sunday. The organisers said they could laugh about it, but warned the safety of runners had been compromised. They apologised to competitors for the mischievous interference and offered affected runners a discount on entry to their next event. There's the signs that have been ripped off and buried beneath leaves and twigs so that they didn't know where to go. The 115 strong field was due to start and finish the race in Lynn Park in the south of the city, following 2 laps of Castlemilk Woodland. Race marshals were positioned at several of the more difficult turning points on the route, but several runners reported being pointed away from the course by a person as they approached one unmarshalled section. They were sent towards the Lynn Park Bridge, with about a quarter of the field covering a 12.5 kilometre distance, rather than the outlined course, which was billed as just shy of 10 kilometres. Michelle Sinsheimer, who owns Acorn Trails with partner Alex Osborne, said at one stage runners were approaching the finish line from 3 different directions. Miss Sinsheimer, 40, said some of the runners quickly realised that arrows had been tampered with, but others were unfamiliar with the park. When Mr. Osborne went to fix the signs, he found one had been ripped off a tree and buried underneath leaves and branches. Miss Sinsheimer said some people came across the line and they were saying they were following arrows, but they went the wrong way. We've had lots of difficult stories from the runners who were affected, but they all said they were told where to run. The sad part for us is that the sign was buried. Whoever did it made a point of doing it. It clearly wasn't an impulsive move. It turns out this could have been planned. Someone planned this. Safety risk. Miss Sinsheimer said runners were directed away from medical help, which could have had serious implications if someone had become unwell. She said a previous race in the city's Queen's Park in January had also been targeted with signs redirected, but that it had been spotted before the starting gun was fired. Miss Sinsheimer said competitors were good about it and that they look at increased stewarding and that they would look at increased stewarding for their next event in the park next month. She said, "We can laugh about it now, especially as everyone was so good about it. It wasn't an easy course, there were lots of dips and hills, so the people who managed an extra couple of kilometres were quite impressive. It could have been the longest run ever for some folk. We had 22 marshals out on the course. It is something we are always aware of, but we will obviously have to look at that." Now, I did make some little fun hints online. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, because some people were like tweeting this at me and going, it wasn't me. No. However, the fact is, this person did this before in the past. They tried to mess with the race in the past, and this time they went up a level by dressing as a marshal and pointing people in random directions. That's funny. I'm sorry. That's really fucking funny. As for the, what if runners got unwell? Like, the park was swarming with people. Everybody would have been fine. I mean, if someone's lying face down in the ground, do you think the other runners are just going to run right past them? I mean, maybe, if they're very competitive. Fuck that guy. I'm here to win, not save lives. Right, but still, I want to know who this person is and why they have such a problem with these races. Why are they targeting them specifically? But I mean, yeah, alright, I know some of the runners might have been a little bit annoyed that they had to run a few extra kilometres, but that's pretty funny.